intended to hurt anyone or point the finger at anyone. Talk about it because this is a story of my life, and I want to bring truth to the situation. This is what the Indians call story time, right? Story time. The mama and the babies. I have one daughter, and she's going to be 33 years old. Now, the story that I'm going to tell you today is not her biological father, right? So I had to raise her by myself. No child support. I was a single parent for a long time. No car, had to start from scratch, right? And in those days, well, couldn't get no help. Some of my family members did help me. But as far as government assistance, nope, no government assistance, no welfare, no WIC. I think I did get WIC for a short time. Then I got my full-time job. Then, I wasn't eligible, right? So I had to, work a full-time job. I had to raise a baby, find daycare, which in those days, woo, it was hard. Back in 1988, 88, yeah. They didn't have the medical facilities or the daycare facilities like they do now. So it was hard. It was really hard. And I worked in a hospital, started in 1987, and worked full time. It was about a 20-minute commute. Got a nice little apartment right next to my aunt and uncle, which they helped me. My mom was in Florida and she had her own issues, so she couldn't help me much. My sister did help me a little bit. She had her own issues with her own life and her own kids. But things were hard. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy working a full-time job and commuting. And then I decided to go back to school. I wanted so hard to be a nurse, but I couldn't do the program. And I couldn't quit my job because I wouldn't be able to afford a place to live. And so I went to community college, took a couple classes at night, had to find a babysitter at night. Took me a long time to finish my 2-year degree, then a 4-year degree. So things were hard, especially when teenager years, My daughter, this is my daughter when she was around 11 years old, right? 11 years old. I met the scoundrel when she was about 3.5 years old. And compared to my first husband, he was nice, but he had a drinking problem, and he was a nasty drunk. His mama had an addiction of drinking. And I didn't know because we didn't live together. We didn't live together. And he would get drunk and pass out, call me names, shake his fist. But I always wanted to try to find a daddy and a husband for me. Make ourselves a family, right? All I wanted was an intact family. So around 5 years, he got drunk, and we finally got to living together for about a year. We got in an apartment, and Amber was about in 3rd grade. We lived in a small apartment, and she was having trouble in school. And I begged him to please go to the school and help me with her. Help me, help me. He wouldn't go. He wouldn't go. I was having problems with her with school, third grade. I had to hire a tutor. Cost me a lot of money. Um, he would get drunk. He was a gambler. He didn't do much for me. Verbally abused me. Well, you might say, did I deserve it? No, I didn't deserve it. I thought I was a good woman. I would cook, I'd clean, go to work, go to school. I thought I was a good mother. I tried to be the best mother that I could be. I just wanted for us to have an intact family. So we lived together for about a year, and that's all I could take. He was mean to me, and he was nasty, and he would shake his fist, and he was nasty like a bulldog. One time when we went skiing with the moose, he was so drunk that it took 3 men to get him out of the bar because he was nasty, he was fighting, and he was supposed to be sober because I told him, I said, I won't marry you because you're an alcoholic, so you got to stop drinking. Well, he took up gambling. To make a long story short, when we were engaged, his mother told me that he was a gambler. I didn't know it. He called me a bitch. He called me a no good whore. So after about a year, I said, I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm done with this life. I don't want another scoundrel. My first husband was an abuser. He physically abused me. He mentally abused me. He was a criminal, a drug addict. He lied and cheated people. I didn't want that kind of life again. So I told him, I'm not going to marry you, scoundrel number 2. So I had to move out. I did get in a condo. I bought myself a condo, fixed it up myself, sent my daughter to private school because she was having problems in school. Cost me a lot of money. Fast forward, she became a teenager. I had to protect her. I had to protect her because she was a beautiful girl. And those boys wanted to take advantage of her. No way. No way was I going to let them take advantage of her. Because that was my job, right? As a parent, to protect her as good as I could. And I was having family problems. My mother was sick. My aunt and uncle was sick. Here's a picture of her graduating from high school, and I graduated with my 2-year degree. She played all the sports, cheerleader, brownies, daisies, gymnastics, t-ball, basketball. The scoundrel did take her to the basketball, the athletic events, because I'm not a sports person, so I will give him that, yes. But he was called a Disneyland dad. Disneyland dad come on the weekend, pick her up on Saturday or pick her up on Sunday because I had to work. I usually sometimes had 3 jobs, full-time job, part-time job, working as a waitress, banquet waitress, bartender, all that kind of stuff. Anything I could do to keep my family afloat. Now, I didn't deserve to be called names. I didn't deserve to be verbally abused. I didn't drink. I didn't do drugs. Nope. Nope. I didn't do drugs and I didn't drink. No. No, no, no. Because I needed my brain to go to school, right? I had to study at night, right? If I wasn't working and I wasn't cleaning and I wasn't cooking and I wasn't babysitting or not babysitting, but watching my daughter or being a mom, right? I was studying in the library, doing research, writing papers. So then it come time for my daughter to get married in 2015. I'm married to a new man, 2005. We're not rich people, but she wanted to have a big wedding. And I'm so happy for her because she has a loving husband who loves her. And she has a great career. She turned out to be a fine young lady, but I had to protect her from those boys, from those scoundrels. Because they tried to mess up her life many a times, and I fight them. I get them. I chase them out with a broom, and I tell them, you better get on, else I'm going to get you. I fight them. I would fight them off, beat them up, fight them off, yell at them. I did. Those boys? Yeah. Because you know how those young boys are, with those pretty girls. So, she got married. She's got a fine husband. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of their relationship and their successfulness and their happy life. They got married December 2015, but one thing was wrong. I'm the mama. I raised her, not that guy, not that scoundrel. He may have been a good guy to her. He may have been a daddy to her, but he was not good by me. No way. He was nasty to me. He verbally abused me. He called me all kinds of names. And he didn't go to the school to help me when I needed it. I needed a man with me to help me with her in school. She had a hard time in some schools, and I needed help. He wouldn't help me. No. He said it wasn't his responsibility. So I cried so many crocodile tears, so many tears that I could filled up Niagara Falls. So her husband, he asked that scoundrel if he could have his hand in marriage. He didn't come to me, Mama. He should have came to me and said, I'd like to marry your daughter. But he didn't. And then they had a very big wedding, very expensive wedding. Expensive. You know how expensive weddings can be. Unfortunately, my husband and I, we didn't have $10,000, $20,000 to give to her for her wedding. We were shamed. I was shamed. And I was embarrassed. But that scandal, he had the money. Because he had a good job, right? He has a good job. Now he's old and sick, right? Diabetes from those years of drinking, right? Got his toes removed. He's the same age as me. He can't run no marathons like me, 'cause I'm a health nut, right? He got diabetes just like his mama. That one, that scoundrel. He says she's a bitch. She's no good. Mm-hmm. You know how they like to twist the minds of the little kids? He did it. He did that psychological warfare. All those years behind my back. When I was studying, going to the library, he says she's off having her fun. Fun? Was in the library studying, doing papers, writing. I needed a B on the test. I needed a B on the test. It took me 10 years to get my bachelor's of science degree. Yeah, 10 years. Hard work. That scoundrel, he walked her down the aisle. He walked her down the aisle. And I hung my head in shame because I didn't go to that wedding. Because, damn, I did not want to see that scoundrel, my baby, that I had by C-section, that I carried in my belly for 9 months. That scoundrel, alcoholic, verbal abuser, he walked my baby down the aisle. Yeah, this is my truth.
Take this ring. Salala.
Take this ring and the sign of my love and fidelity.
It is my honor and pleasure to introduce you for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Chicafelli. Now we begin.
She's my